I've said this before, but Steven Crowder's job is to manufacture cruelty. That's it. I don't think he'll say anything. I don't think he cares that much. But like, if there is something about which he actually does care, it's that he should be allowed to rape women. I think that's probably like the thing he cares about the most, if he does care about anything.
Just to be clear, so what I'm about to say is not an apologist for the rapists, like that man at Walmart, clearly guilty of course, as she insinuated.
Yeah.
But understanding that rape is primarily a crime of, I don't know, you're going to say it's a crime of power. Okay, get it, whatever. It's primarily a crime of wanting to have sex with someone who doesn't want to have sex with you, and so you have sex with them anyway.
That is the definition. Okay. I think the fact that he was contrasting that with crime of power. So psychologically, rape isn't about sex, it's about power. This is a very well understood psychiatric thing. The act is sex, but the drive and mind state is power oriented. Yeah. So it's a fairly well understood psychological tendency.
Wouldn't it stand to reason that the victims of rape would usually, not always, generally be those who are most desirable sexually, considering the crime?
Maybe like the...
No, it's not even remotely how it works, actually. So, kind of tripped to the first hurdle.
5s to 10s.
I mean, like, you don't carjack a 98 Oldsmobile.
No.
And this...
People do carjack old cars. What? That actually happens a lot? So, much as is the case with carjacking, you know, the cars that are carjacked are the cars that are available to be carjacked. You know, crime of opportunity. And in the case of rape, you know, usually it is also just sort of an opportunistic exploitation of your ability to trap or manipulate somebody. You know, most rapes don't take place like in a dark alleyway or whatever. It's usually someone you know, something like that. He's doing ugly women that get raped or lying. Yes, that's what he's building towards right now. He's saying like all these ugly dyke feminists, like no one wants to rape you anyway. He's doing like the Sargon of Akkad bit or whatever. Like he's obviously like gunning towards that. I mean, I know that because I've seen the clip, so you know, but it's pretty obvious anyway. The most common car to be stolen is a Honda Civic. Really? Most stolen car in America. No, this one says Ford full-size pickup truck is the most stolen one. Chevrolet full-size pickup. Honda Civic's number 3. Model base price, $10,000. I think these Honda Civics are lying. Wouldn't somebody only want to steal like Ferraris or something? I don't know.
And it's always ladies like that who are claiming they're raped. I've searched, and I could be wrong about this. There are many, right? How many times have I been to a Change My Mind? It's always a blue-haired, would-be lesbian feminist who claim they're...
Oh my God. I didn't even remember him mentioning that they would be a lesbian, but I threw that in there. He has daughters, so with his logic, let's hope they're ugly when they grow up. Yeah, Shu, at least everyone can sort of take heart. If you've been raped, according to Steven Crowder, it means you're beautiful, right?
They're raped. As far as I know, not one Victoria's Secret model has been raped.
That is not true. Just look that up. Actually, the Victoria's Secret, well, the modeling industry in general is full of sexual abuse. You know, just broadly. Yeah.
And they have wings.
Not one?
What are the odds?
Maybe they were going to be Victoria's Secret model, and then...
That's exactly it.
And then the blue hair.
Until someone lightly brushed their arm at Walmart.
Yeah.
And they gained 300 pounds because of it?
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
So the funny thing is that this is also completely incoherent, right? Because he was, the point he's making is that, like, no one wants to rape you anyway, you fat, ugly feminist, quit lying. But then he's also saying that really hot women haven't gotten raped, which... Does anyone understand what point he's trying to make here? Because those are contradictory points. And it seems like the broader point he's making is that only beautiful people get raped and that no one would want to rape ugly feminists. But then he's saying that very beautiful women don't get raped? Was he being sarcastic with the Victoria's Secret thing? Because it didn't sound like it. It sounded like the same cadence. Just rape doesn't exist at all. Okay. He's deriving from first principles that rape can't exist because ugly women don't get raped and also beautiful women don't get raped. So therefore, you know, What is he even trying to do? Well, the real thing he's trying to do is get a bunch of his like prepubescent audience on board with laughing at women being raped and not believing them. That's the actual reason, by the way. That's it. Like, it's not funny and it's not politically salient. You know, the only actual purpose of the commentary here is just they want, because real like hatred isn't rooted in logic, right? Like, the kind of guy who would laugh at a rape victim, there's not a logical argument for that, you know? It's a behavioral bias, you know? You want them to be so callous and cruel that that's just like their default response here. Yeah, you know, isn't this too much for prepubescent people? Maybe like post-pubescent, like 15 or what? I don't know. A lot of it is like trying to get younger people on board with the callous cruelty. I refer you back to Donald Trump separating migrant families from their children, and Steven Crowder doing a bit where he put his Mexican co-host in a cage with a lollipop, and he was like, "Me want taco, me want burrito," because see kids kept in cages. Like again, like I don't have that much to say outside of the cruelty is the point. Yeah, the George Floyd reenactment, you know. They're just demons. They just want you to be gassed in concentration camps. It's sometimes that simple. They're just demons wearing human skin. It's not that complicated. Yeah, it is true, but it goes beyond that, right? Because normally, like, the boomer humor, like kids these days, participation trophies, it's usually kind of, at least when done sincerely, it's kind of sheltered behind this, this, like, I would say, maybe not genuine, but at least an attempt at care, or maybe, like, paternalistic concern. Whereas in Crowder's case, it's literally just, haha, guffaw, get raped, fat bitch, you know? It's not, there isn't like that, it goes beyond just regular boomer humor, I guess I mean to say, you know. Man, let's finish this stupid.
It's just, it's always a rape that's completely unverifiable.
Right. Yeah.
And it's always used.
Famously, no verified rapes.
Used, for example, to justify cutting in line.
Right.
Women who say they've been raped are just trying to get ahead in life, the way you would cut in line.
I'm just saying, if you're just playing the odds game, you would think that, like, if rape is horrible, but if I'm a rapist, and again, I'm not a rapist, I'm anti-rape, but if you've
I don't believe him.
crossed over, you've crossed that threshold. You say, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to be a felon. I'm going to inflict violence upon a woman. I'm going to have sex with a woman who doesn't want to have sex with me back. So now the barrier to entry is removed. The woman doesn't want to have sex with you back. Wouldn't you pick the one you most want to have sex with?
So obviously, leaving aside the fact that if you were a rapist and you were to pick a target to rape, you would probably choose somebody, A, who you have the greatest opportunity to rape, and B, you would choose someone who you are most interested in raping. And that's usually not a random person. That's why most rapes happen interpersonally with people who you already know. Additionally, a lot of rapes happen with the rapist not knowing they've raped somebody. Obviously, not being aware that you've committed a crime does not absolve you morally of having committed that crime, right? Like, if you're drunk driving and you, like, hit a kid and don't notice and you just think you hit a rock and keep driving, you're not absolved of the drunk driving accident. But if you have, like, the understanding of consent that one would expect from a Steven Crowder fan, and you are, like, get a girl back from the club and she's so drunk she can barely talk, and, like, you're prying her clothes off and she's just going, no, no, and then you fuck her and come in her and then leave, that's still rape, my dude, even if you don't think you're a rapist. But Steven Crowder wants his audience to, like, not believe rape is real, because part of, like, chauvinistic hegemony is the idea that, like, it's a lot like his definition of racism, right? Like, to Steven Crowder, the only people who can be racist are, like, active Ku Klux Klanners who are currently lynching a black man on top of a lawn where a cross is burning. And anything but that isn't actually racist. Like, if they even say that they voted for Obama in 2008 while doing all that, they're not racist to Steven Crowder. And likewise, like, in the same way that enables and defends racism, you know, saying that, like, like, setting the bar for rape and being like, it needs to be like 12 black dudes leaping from the rooftops to jump a blonde woman in an alley, and then, like, sort of, how do black people move? From their coats, they all pull out those, like, one-wheeled skateboards, and they sort of throw them in front of them and jump on them and then kind of wheel away. There we go. Yeah. with an exaggerated swagger, yeah. And anything that isn't that isn't rape, right? Segways? No, no, no. Like those really hip, like the skateboards. It doesn't have like a scooter handle. Also, Victoria's Secret was literally founded by a friend of Epstein. Oh, well, nice. Oh, okay. Neat. I think they were 2 wheels. This is how black people move. Have you never even been to a city? I've never ridden one. They look kind of cool, though. Not gonna lie. Crowder is referring to this tweet. Oh, this tweet? Man, I hate it when shit like this goes viral. Just because, like, there's really nothing to get from this. That, like, some people are mentally ill, right? So, okay, that's fine. This shit really happened to me because I asked a woman if she somehow didn't see the line of people. She just cut at a register.
Fucking touch! I can't calm down. I can't be fucking touched.
I didn't touch you, man.
I was raped not that long ago, and I can't stand another man touching me.
Well, no.
Okay, so a couple of things we gotta factor in here. First of all, I saw people treating this like a false rape accusation. Do you seriously think that this is going to go through the courts? Do you really think this is a false rape? Like this is being submitted through like the legal process? Like the police report, the investigation, the arrest, the trial date? Like, fucking come on, seriously? Like people are treating this like ah, yeah, well, women will just scream rape at anything. Dude, she's having a fucking mental health episode, okay? It's a mental breakdown. That's it. That's literally all that's going on right here. It's some fucking PTSD, schizo, whatever. I don't know. She needs help. That's all I gotta say. Is she being annoying? Yeah, she's being annoying. Is she responsible for her own behavior? Yes, she is. But like, what are you even supposed to make of this, right? This isn't an example of like a narcissistic woman maliciously lying to slightly benefit herself. You see that. That's a thing that happens, you know? People who will make like an internal calculation like, I'm God, no one else matters, I will just lie to benefit myself. That happens. That's not what's happening here. This is not like the white lady in Central Park from that one video where the black guy was walking blackly, or I guess one-wheel skateboarding, and she was like, I'm gonna call the cops, and yeah, that situation. Yeah, like that's another thing. This is not that thing. These are different things, you know? I mean, she's screaming real loud, but she's just saying she doesn't want to be touched, right? She wasn't claiming she's raped here.
No one did that.
I just can't.
Is this a prank?
I can't. He won't go away. He needs to go away. He's the problem.
I need to leave?
No, just welcome. We'll take you to
I still got, okay. She threw some of my stuff.
Okay.
This is the shit I really don't care for, okay? I don't know why you need to film people, like, if it's a mental breakdown and nothing else, they're not attacking you or any shit like that. Like, they're just screaming super loud, like, yeah, we're gonna get a bunch of internet points, we're all gonna point and laugh at the mentally ill person, yeah. And, like, why engage with them? Do we not have, like, a little bit of, like decency? If a person's having a mental health problem, don't, like, egg them on. Don't, like, I didn't do anything. I didn't even do anything. I didn't even do anything. Like, fucking just chill there. Give it a minute. She'll calm down and probably leave out of embarrassment once she, like, gets out of the mental state she's in right now. Like, what? Like,
Hell if I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
She wasn't sorry when she cut in line and then screamed.
see, I'm not opposed to publicly arguing with people if they're in the wrong, but nobody here thinks the person filming the video is in the wrong. This person who's filming does not need to defend themselves. Nobody watching this is thinking like, maybe this obviously insane woman is in the right, as opposed to the guy just standing here, you know? Like, you're a child. Vashi shouldn't be getting accused of doing something to her, though. Nobody is. Nobody's accusing him of anything except for the lady who's obviously having a mental health breakdown. No, like, this isn't an issue. You don't need to defend yourself or whatever. Like, there's nothing... Like, I once went on a bus in Los Angeles. Always a big mistake, okay? And there was one time in all the times I took the bus, I ended up sitting opposite a mentally ill woman as she was very inappropriate towards me. I was just sitting there, and then she started accusing me of, like, staring at her, and then, like, saying that I wanted to fuck her. And she was like yelling this too. And I have my earbuds in. I'm sitting on the opposite side of the bus. I'm chilling. I'm not doing anything. You know what I don't do? I don't fucking argue with her. Because why? Why? Like, what possible benefit do I get from that? Who benefits from that? Outside of exacerbating a situation with a person who's having a mental health episode. Like, just...
I didn't see you!
To make it...
If she was being mentally ill on Twitter, you'd argue with her? Yes, it's okay if they're on Twitter.
Oh, I just asked her if she saw anyone in line.
Fucking leave! Just go!
That's an adult.
You're making it loud!
Let's just walk up
I'm
to
just
them.
talking.
Walk up to them.
Like, listen to the language of the guy who's recording. That's an adult? It's a mental health breakdown. Their brain is soup. What are you trying to argue over right now? What are you, like, what are you trying to procure? What outcome are you trying to arrive at with this behavior? So what do you do then? Just ignore them? Yes! Yes! That's it. That's literally it. If you have to, like, move a line or whatever, fine. That's fine. We live in such a hyper-atomized, individualistic world where people are like, the line schedule to which I am entitled has been slightly inconvenienced. Time for me to terrorize this mentally ill person and, like, record them for clout. While like dragging out the interaction and worsening everything for everyone everywhere, so I don't have to like spend an extra 30 seconds moving to an adjacent line. Like, you're at that point, she's not deliberately like holding everyone up. You are deliberately holding everyone up. She's having a fucking brain meltdown. You're not. You're in a state where you could act better.
What was Chris? What was Chris?
Just to calm everything down.
I can't calm down. I can't be...
There you go, that's it. And then Crowder turned this into a story about how, like, lesbian, blue-haired, fat women don't get raped and they're all lying or something. Okay, nice. Now I disagree with these people. F you, Moose. Obviously, I know you're not mentally well because it was pretty retarded of you to type that, but, like, what the f are you getting? Like, f that person, PTSD episode? What a fucking loser, dude. What? Oh, dude, cringe, bro. The irrevocable onslaught of mental illness in the episodes they're in. You know, oh, dude, have some self-control. What the Are people not expected to compose themselves when in public? Mental health episode. Also, what are you going to do if they don't compose themselves in public? Cry about it? Shoot yourself? Die? Do a mass shooting right there? Detonate the explosives you have lining your chest? Like, what do you... If people aren't composing yourselves in public, you can't change that. You're not going to... This isn't a debate. You're not going to, like, you violated the social contract by having a PTSD breakdown in public. Let me own you by reminding you that you have a social obligation. She's going to spend the next, like, fucking rest of her life remembering this, dude, okay? People who have mental health episodes in public don't, like, go home and think, like, well, that was normal. That was great. I did great there. Have you ever talked to a mentally ill person? Sure, her day isn't ruined. Her fucking month is ruined, okay? Like, oh, wow, you know, now when she gets back and feels like killing herself because she had a mental breakdown in public while dealing with a rape that happened recently, at least she'll know that one random dude who was around her had the presence of mind to remind her of the oft-forgotten social code that people shouldn't scream really loud in public. Thank you for your service. I can see recording it for your own safety but not sharing it. Yeah, I think that's defensible. And even then, like, if you upload, like, a person freaking out in public on its own, I don't think you're like a horrible human for doing it, because we are driven to spectacle. I don't think that in and of itself makes you a horrible human. There's so many factors compile here. The people in chat right now who are like, but isn't it logical to not have a PTSD breakdown? Plus the, like, 5 million views on the viral video, plus the guy, like, egging her on in the video recording, plus the posting it, plus everyone in the comments being like, wow, she's crazy. No shit. Well, thank you, Solomon, for your wisdom. That's crazy. I thought she was trying out for a vocal performance. I've had a meltdown like this and someone called the cops on me. Please don't call the cops on people having a mental health breakdown unless they're actually inflicting violence on other people. Believe it or not, a lady just like in the corner of the store screaming really loud isn't actually a physical threat to anyone, but the cops are to her. You get to call the cops if they're like running around hurting people. That is the point where the cops get to be involved, you know? And even then, I mean, yeah, I mean, even then, I mean, you should if they're hurting people. It's just like bad outcomes can arise from that too. With a cop's apparent love and propensity for opening fire at occupied buildings with their, you know, car-mounted Gatling gun whenever they hear someone inside might be autistic. Our freakout is full of shit like this and it's sad. Yeah, you know why it's sad? The real sad people in our freakout and all the people who are like that aren't the fucking people in the video getting posted, okay? It's the people who are sneering at mentally ill people, all right? That's the real sad shit, okay? Because you have to be pretty fucking low, like, I'm home from my shift at work. Time for me to type out, like, demeaning comments about mentally ill people in a Reddit thread where a woman had a breakdown or something. Like, you're clearly doing this to compensate for some, like, personal deficiency. And, you know, I mean, at least that lady is living her truth, okay? I've been stabbed in a bus in Montreal. I've had episodes where I was felt stuck and being that someone was there to attack me. It happens. It's legit fear. If you've been raped and see someone willing to grope you, I think it's your right to warn and be conscious of your. I don't know what exactly you're suggesting or who's in the right here, but obviously, yes, if somebody's stabbing you or groping you, I think you're very, very, very well within your right. Public freakout is a psyop, Vosh. All the posts have to highlight the demographic groups involved, like French teen jumped by immigrants. Oh, they always do, because people who like shit like that are always far right. Far right people are overwhelmingly the ones who like to get together and sneer at like the mentally ill and the disabled and what have you. Vosh, not everyone that breaks down has a mental illness. Sometimes they're just assholes. Can we like use our brains here? That lady was having a mental illness related breakdown. Yes, sometimes they're just huge, like, narcissistic assholes in public. And if they're being a narcissistic asshole in public, you can argue with them if you want. That's fine. That was so clearly not. She literally said out loud, I was raped recently. I can't handle being around this. Please don't touch me. What argument is she trying to have with you? What positions is she fronting that you feel the need to debunk there? Sorry, Vosh, I wasn't talking about the video. Oh, okay. You got to be careful when we're arguing with chat. Okay, people get dropped all over the place. This actually happened to me in high school. White girl had an episode. They just kicked me out of class. I am a black guy. In all seriousness, support mental lol. Okay, even if it's really unjust or unfair or some bullshit. Like if you're a black dude and there's a white girl in the class or whatever, and you walk by her and she, I don't know, has an aneurysm and screams that she's being black raped or something. I don't know. If she's making a scene, just shrug and leave. That's it. That's all. That you will always look better. I promise you, you will always look better. If somebody else is having a mental breakdown, you will always look better. If you're just like, I'm not engaging with this, and you leave. You always look better there, with no exceptions. Every time, you know? Does running away not make you guilty? No. If they're just screaming and freaking out, no. People know what acceptable behavior is in public. If somebody's having an obvious mental breakdown, they feel bad for you because you're the subject of their attention. That's how it was when I was on the bus and that lady was screaming that I was like eye-f***ing her or something. Like nobody there was like between me, like a college student sitting there, and like this older, probably homeless woman sitting on the opposite side screaming at me while I just sit there with my earbuds. No contact between us. Nobody's thinking like, what the f did that guy do? Everyone's just thinking like, oh, she's f***ing crazy. What? Okay, you know. Why would you run? I didn't say run. Just leave. So they stop screaming. It's called de-escalation. It's how you should handle like basically all conflict. Yeah, dodge roll like in Souls-like. Exactly. Chat's just really having an off day today. Chat is really having an off day today. Well, that's okay. We have our on and off days. Conflict resolution should be taught. This is the secret that no one wants you to know, okay? Any conflict that you're not trying to de-escalate is a conflict that you had better be getting something from. I escalate conflict all the time online because I am a debate streamer. But outside stuff like that, where my job literally involves arguing with people, you should always be de-escalating conflicts. Every time. Do you know why? Because people are retards, and they're double retarded when they're mad. People are so stupid when they're mad. They're so emotional. People are so fucking emotional. Everyone. You, me, everyone. If you're really emotional, you are not going to change your mind. You are not going to, like, arrive at a positive. Have you ever had an argument with a significant other over something relatively minor? It wasn't a big deal, but you two escalate like back and forth, and you're arguing over like ending the relationship when it's a conversation on like one person forgetting to turn the oven off after finishing getting their like baked thing from the, or some shit like that. Like you always leave the microwave beeping instead of opening and closing the door again. And then it's like, oh, sorry, well, I don't always have time to like care. You can overclose. And then it's like, oh, well, you're pretty fucking inconsiderate for not doing it yourself. It's your shit. It's like, well, then why are you so fucking lazy? You're always leaving shit around the house anyway. You can't do one fucking thing and close the fucking microwave door so it doesn't fucking beep. It's like, don't you talk to me about me. I fucking work a job and it's like, holy shit. and then like, right? Yeah, and then like an hour later, it's like you're like threatening the relationship, and then inevitably what happens, at least what always happened with me, you know, is that you don't talk to each other for an hour. Just in like an hour, for an hour, don't communicate with them, and then you both just kind of walk up to each other with puppy eyes and you hug. Literally. Both of you, literally. Like, this is yeah, literally. That's just how it is. Yeah. So don't escalate. Calming down disagreements is good. What about the other extreme of being too conflict averse? Well, you should still attempt to address the conflict. Don't ignore the subject of the disagreement. You just want to maintain that disagreement at like a cool temperature. You know, you want to maintain like a calm disposition as you as you discuss it, you know? Oh, okay. Oh, she's so sharp. Oh, if I let go of her right now, she'll tear like chunks of skin out. Pigeon, what if you let go? What if, okay, Pigeon, what if, thank you. Thank you. I gotta trim your nails. Yeah, you're not twisting around this time. Don't do that. Be free. Yeah, see, de-escalating.